Yes, in fact, I have been a tutor of children of other races myself, so I'm fine with that. It depends on the qualification, firstly, and secondly on their demeanour and manner with the child. Two criteria, actually.
In Singapore, we are a very multiracial society. Even in schools and institutes and places of learning, there's a mixed culture of students and teachers.
Overall, learning is a universal thing and it does not affect the race or the religion or the gender of whatever.
Yes. Definitely. Because race has nothing to do with the capability of someone teaching your child a subject.
Yeah, I agree the same way.
I'm definitely open to that. I think that tutor should have some credibility, some things that they need to meet some criteria. But I don't think race is something that will be concerned of.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always grown up in kind of ethnically diverse cities. So I originally grew up in London, now I'm in Singapore. And I think I've never seen any issue with it. I don't see why there would be an issue with it. As long as everyone is well qualified. The main thing is the child's education. So as long as they're able to educate the child, then that's all that matters. If they've got the job, they're obviously qualified.
Yeah, absolutely. I think whoever that can get the job done, whoever that's qualified for it, that should be my requirement. Race wouldn't play a role in that.
I feel that it's not wrong because for example, if a Malay wants a Malay tutor, maybe it's because it's easier for them to communicate in their own language. But as long as it doesn't lead to racism whereby you just don't like that race, then I think it's fine.
Well, wrong is a valid judgment, but unwise decision, I would think, because they might discount somebody who's, as I've said, meets the two criteria, well qualified and appropriate manner with the student, so they would make a mistake.
Definitely. If your kids see you showing this kind of prejudice, unintentional or intentional, it is going to be passed on to the next generation. And that's not something you want, whether it's intentional or not. So you need to set the good example as parents for your children. And they don't bring this kind of behavior to school as well.
I do think it's wrong because I disagree with that sort of mindset. I think the first step is kind of understanding why those biases exist. I think a lot of people have unconscious biases, like we kid ourselves into thinking that we don't. But what we need to do is acknowledge them and work on changing those biases. So I have a bias around kind of anything. I think it's wrong, and I think it just requires education, really, and understanding why those biases exist, and kind of encouraging people to kind of think a bit differently. Yeah, like I think it's wrong. I don't agree with it, but it does exist. We can't deny that it doesn't exist.
It depends on what subject. I mean, if they are teaching religious class, the race shouldn't be a matter as well, but it's more of the knowledge and the backgrounds of the teacher itself or the tutor.
No. They should not have. They should not have any preferences. You know, it depends on the ability of the teacher. I always say the color of the cow doesn't matter. It's the color of the milk.